Hi everyone, it's Heather, and as you know, the Coalition for Life just finished another 40 Days for Life campaign. This was appropriately called the United 40 Days for Life because this was the first time that all 50 states in the United States simultaneously had at least one campaign in each state. So praise God for that. That means there was this great bus tour, and Austin was on that list. We had our United bus rally a week ago in Austin, and it was wonderful. We had about 125 people that came out and prayed that all those people that came were motivated to continue on. Now, we concluded our 40 Days for Life campaign yesterday with our Day 40 celebration, but because of the weather, we actually had to move it indoors, and that presented a few obstacles in terms of what we normally get to do, the activities that we get to do, and the updates that we get to share, and we weren't really able to share those updates. So I thought I'd go ahead and share them with you in a little video. So thank you to all those who came out. I think we had about 75 people that came to the Day 40 celebration, even with the change in location. So it was a great turnout. I think everybody was still really excited, and of course the kids were happy with prizes and balloons, and so really glad that we were able to do that and come together and celebrate even though the plans had to change. So the number one question people always ask about the campaign is how many lives were saved? What is the number? And so I am so happy to report that in Austin alone we had at least 2 women that chose life for children that they were planning to abort. So thank God for that. That means that 2 women actually stopped and talked to the volunteers and said that they were considering abortion or going in for their abortion appointment, but then changed their minds simply because of your peaceful, prayerful presence. So that is only the number of women that tell us. God only knows how many more women were going in and changed their mind and left. And I am hopeful that there were many more. I'm certain that there were many more, especially because our sidewalk counselors handed out at least 350 brochures over the last few weeks. So thank you, sidewalk counselors. Good job, and good job to the prayer volunteers for encouraging them and praying for them and praying for all those conversations. We had a lot of positive reactions from people, passersby, and employees of nearby businesses in the community. In fact, there was even one employee of a nearby business that stopped by just to share how thrilled he was to show a sonogram of his 17-week baby in the womb. So he wanted to share that and tell us thank you for what we were doing, and he also asked if we could give him some resources in case he and his girlfriend might need those. And so we were very thankful for that and the many other interactions that we had. Several people had good conversations just about abortion and about what Planned Parenthood does and what the abortion industry is really about. And so we're able to further educate the community with our presence and with the knowledge that we have to share with them. There was also, a situation with a young mom who was an addict, and as God would have it, He put the right person in that young woman's path. And that volunteer of ours also happened to have had experience in the past with that same type of addiction. And so that is now an ongoing communication between those two, and she's connecting her with local professional resources to help this young woman. So praise God for that. There's just such a great ripple effect. We had many individuals from churches that came out. We had several churches, and 17 in fact, that adopted a day to bring members to the sidewalk. And we really want to have 40 churches adopting 40 days at the minimum. So that's our goal for next time. That's our goal every time, and we want to be sure that we can reach that. But one church I do want to highlight for this round was Redeemer Presbyterian. They set their own goals for themselves, which was so incredibly inspiring. And one of those goals was that they actually made it a point to have at least one church member praying every single day during the 40 Days for Life campaign. And by the start of the campaign, they were happy to report that they indeed had at least one person signed up for every single day during the campaign from their church. So what an awesome goal to have, and what a bar to raise and a challenge to set for other churches and individuals. So that was amazing. And then they had their day adopted on the sidewalk this past Saturday, November 5th, and they had 74 members that they had recruited to come out and pray and cover the sidewalk in prayer. And in fact, they had so many members coming and praying at 1 hour that they were concerned with a parking situation. Of course, it worked out, but what a great problem to have. And we're so thankful for that and the example that they're setting. Truly, thank you to that pastor for being the shepherd and leading his flock and going out to the sidewalk with his church members. It was so incredible. And I thank all of the liaisons for the churches that adopted a day on the sidewalk, because you worked hard, I know, planning, sometimes recruiting for weeks in advance after services on Sundays to recruit people from your church to represent and pray peacefully on the sidewalk. So that was something that was so incredible. I want to thank our prayer volunteers, our sidewalk counselors, and I especially want to thank our day captains. I don't know that you guys know how hard our day captains work sometimes. They put in a number of hours each week to ensure that their volunteers have all the information that they need to go and pray on the sidewalk, and that they are understanding the commitment that it takes to actually be physically present on the sidewalk. And they may have even had some mini heart attacks, not knowing whether or not some people were going to come for their prayer volunteer hour or their prayer hour that they signed up for. So thank you, day captains. Thank you, Roger and Christina, Marty. Thank you, Nicola and Shane, Margaret and Marie, Jeff and Sheila, Stephen and Marita. Thank you, Cynthia and Fabiola, Greg and Patty, Michelle, Albert, Maria, and Luis and Luisa. All of you for being such amazing day captains and helping with the coordinating the volunteers. You really are the backbones of this campaign. Another way this campaign wouldn't be able to be successful is without our visual materials coordinators. So thank you to all of our visual materials coordinators that helped, and those are the people that actually brought the visual materials each morning to the vigil site and then picked it up in the evening. So they made sure that those materials were available every single day. So thank you so much to Stephen, to Irene, to Thad and Barbara, to Francesco, also Albert, and all those who helped coordinate that. You guys are amazing, and I really, really appreciate all the help that you did in coordinating the visual materials and making sure that our supplies is safe. So thank you for that. I want to challenge you, if your church has not been on that calendar to adopt a day, please be the one that makes that happen. Get your church on the calendar for next campaign. So speaking of next campaign, mark your calendars. March 1st through April 9th. That is the Spring 2017 campaign. And yes, we have already started working on that campaign. We started even before this campaign was over, trying to get a schedule going for outreach weekends. So I do want to thank Diana Martinez, who is our project manager. She's phenomenal, and she is working hard on those schedules. And she's also been a tremendous help with outreach on the weekends and going and recruiting more prayer volunteers and going above and beyond. So thank you so much, and we're so thankful to have her. It makes a huge difference when we have more staff members. So another date to mark your calendar for is Tuesday, November 29th. Tuesday, November 29th is known as Giving Tuesday, and Giving Tuesday is when we have an opportunity to really vamp up our financial support for the organizations that we care about. So I want to strongly encourage you to support the Coalition for Life financially, even if you don't think it's very much, but $5 can really go a long way. And we also have we have monthly donors that give $5. We also have monthly donors that give $100. So whether you can become a monthly donor or give a one-time gift of $500 or $50, whatever you can do, Giving Tuesday, we have a goal of raising $5,000. Now, we have so much that we could use this for. Number one, we definitely have a lot of resources that we need to be able to continue to provide for our sidewalk counselors. We need to be able to continue to provide training materials for our volunteers and our sidewalk counselors. And when we talk about a 40 Days for Life campaign, that costs us anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000. And that's the materials, training materials, that's the outreach materials, the promotional gear. That is also the venues, what it costs us to reserve all the venues and the different things for our activities that we have, sometimes for paying different people for their professional time, graphic designing, maybe even getting certain materials for any of the events that we have. So that always is helpful. Also, the overhead costs that any organization has. And then we have one full-time employee and one part-time employee now. We really want to see our part-time employee become a full-time employee, and we cannot do that without financial support. And what does that mean? If we have someone that's spending more time on this, we're able to cast our net even greater to reach more churches, more people in the community. A lot of people say, I don't understand why churches aren't more involved. I don't understand why we only have this many churches. Yeah, we have 500 churches in the city of Austin alone, not to mention Central Texas, and we certainly could see a lot more support and a lot more people, but it has to have that invitation, and we only have so much manpower. Only one or two people can do so much. So if we have more manpower, we're able to cast that net greater and reach more people in the community and reach more churches. And that in turn is going to get more people to the sidewalk, is going to educate more people, it's going to motivate more people. And more people on the sidewalk means more hours are covered. And we know by experience and by the witness and the testimony of former abortion workers that people peacefully praying on the sidewalk means more lives are saved. So this has a very important and powerful ripple effect. So Giving Tuesday, November 29th. I also want to encourage you to sign up for at least 2 times between now and March 1st to go and pray on the sidewalk. You do not have to wait for 40 Days for Life to start up again to go and pray. Even if you go pray, make 2 appointments with God on the sidewalk. Whatever it is between now and March 1st. It can be a Saturday afternoon, it can be a Tuesday morning, whatever it is. But it is so important for us to have as much continuing presence on that sidewalk as possible because we know abortions are still happening. So like you would a doctor's appointment, make an appointment with God on the sidewalk to go and peacefully pray. And you may not think it makes a difference, but it always makes an impact. It has a huge difference because people see that, and that is a reminder of the injustice that is happening just beyond those walls of the place that we're standing in front of. And it's also a reminder that there is help and there is support in that community for moms who may be vulnerable or may be needing help and support. So please make those 2 appointments between now and March 1st. Contact us. You can email info@centraltexascoalition.com if you want to make your appointment on the sidewalk. And then you just let us know when, and we will be sure to mark that. You can find a prayer partner, or we can find a prayer partner for you. I also want to say another way to support the Coalition for Life is to purchase these awesome t-shirts that we have. And we have a t-shirt that says coexist on the front with a silhouette of a pregnant mom, as you can see. And so it has that. And then on the back, it has our awesome logos, Coalition for Life and 40 Days for Life on it. So you can be a wonderful witness and representative in the community. And these are just $10 for adult t-shirts. And look, we have little onesies. You can buy little baby outfits. And these are just $8. So you can buy those, and those also help go to promote and be a witness and promote awareness in the community, and also help support financially offset the costs of all the things that we have to pay for. So I really thank you so much for all those who participated in 40 Days for Life. And I know that this is a stressful time and that it seems like things are just going completely berserk in our country. And you know what? No matter what happens with the elections and with all the other things going on, God is still God. And it's important for us to be involved. It's important for us to educate ourselves. But this is maybe all the more reason why it's important for us to continue our mission in our community of peaceful, prayerful outreach on the sidewalks, and also education in the community, which is something that we do throughout the year. So keep praying. Mark your calendar for these important dates. Thank you again so much. If you ever need anything or have any questions, we're just a click or a phone call away. Thank you again so much. God bless you, and have a wonderful and happy Thanksgiving.